In Monday's video, I revisited the 300k scenario. In this video, let's take a step back even further, because something big has happened, which has changed how I see this parabola number 5 and sets the scene for parabola number 6. Weather has changed here, it's crisp, the olives are getting ripe in the olive garden, the pomelos on the pomelo tree, and on a day where even the lemons are getting sweet. Bitcoin is approaching 100k. Remember the video this week's Monday, where we talked about this symmetrical or ascending triangle? Well, that worked. There are periods of the market which are very difficult to read, like the beginning of this consolidation period. Towards the end, it got really clear. But in the beginning, I tried to explain this concept, that there are uncertain periods, then you can have less exposure. Then the clearer it gets, the more exposure you can have. Most people haven't gotten that point. They think there's only one dimension, if it's going up or down. But it's not. It's minimum 2 dimensions. Is the trend up or down? And number 2, the level of confidence, the level of clarity, the level of confluence between contributing factors, like trend, chart, fundamentals. Is there even trending price behavior? Towards the end of this consolidation period, it started getting really clear. We had these very clear chart patterns. And if you followed along here at the time, you know that we correctly identified the break in the pattern. When we got a higher low, we correctly identified this horizontal key level, which was support over here, resistance here, and then held as support during the first 2 weeks of October. With Larsson line gold, supportive chart patterns, great fundamental developments, clear pattern breakout with Larsson line gold, clear horizontal breakout with Larsson line gold, trending price action, ascending triangle, or if including the wicks, possibly a symmetrical pennant. Either way, both very positive chart patterns after a big move up like this. All this way. It's not difficult, guys. High confidence. Same as this period. Same as this period. High confidence. Same here. High confidence. The only time these weeks where it was a little shaky was here when there was hesitation about the election polls. But crypto won there too, with Polymarket turning out to be the actual source of truth, not the mainstream media. I've said and written to sit down in the boat during this period, and that has worked out really well. Now price is 97,500 as I'm recording this. And I said that because the confidence, the second dimension, was very high. That the trend is up. Larsson line gold, no one has missed. Hopefully. Larsson line is gold, everyone! Now, let's look up to the horizon. Where could this price go? Then we need to understand how these parabolas work. I discovered Bitcoin and crypto here in 2017. That was comparably late. That was already the 3rd parabola, as you recall from the video from this Monday. It's funny because I understood blockchain technology much earlier, many years earlier, and I even had it on my Ericsson slides. I was explaining to our customers how we could make use of the blockchain technology in telecom, probably back here in 2014 or something. But I didn't translate that insight into that I should go and invest in Bitcoin or other coins, because I didn't see myself as an investor at that time. I saw myself as a professional, a top expert and a high boss in my field, but in another field. So this was where I switched tracks. At that time, Bitcoin and crypto was largely unknown among most people, and there wasn't much hatred for it either. Most people just didn't care. It was after this 3rd parabola that resistance started building for real. Swedish bank Nordea famously forbid their employees from buying Bitcoin in their own personal capacity. Nordea informed the workforce that the risks of cryptocurrency trading were too high. Of course, some employees complained, but the bank persisted and got right in court. Of course, at the bottom. So they protected their employees from $7,000 up to $97,500. And if I may add, even bigger gain than HODL if they followed the Larsson line process, which also, and more importantly, protected the downside. So the big risk was actually never even there. This was really when the dumbness bottomed. Then something changed here. In October 2020 and going into February 2021, during the fourth Parabola, PayPal launches crypto, and then Elon Musk with Tesla comes out in support of Bitcoin. The world isn't that big. Those two events between PayPal and Elon and Tesla were probably connected. I remember exactly when I saw that news with PayPal. I stood in the kitchen and I said to my wife that this changes everything. Now Bitcoin will become legit. This is a stamp of approval which will have impact. That turned out correct. Price shot up here to almost 70,000 as the fourth Parabola played out. Because now there was a vision for the future. What was the vision? In Parabola 4 it was three things. Number one, that we will start paying with Bitcoin. For our Teslas, for our PayPal items, for everything. Number two, that more corporate treasuries will do like Tesla, buying Bitcoin for their treasury. And number three, that we will get an ETF. None of those things happened, only Larsson's course you could buy with crypto. Then, same as in every single one of the four parabolas, comes an approximately 80% correction. Elon Musk didn't like that the fees per transaction were so high, because so few transactions per block. And he was right, we should have increased the block size, which I said at the time. He said he will only restore Bitcoin payments based on clean energy use, lower energy use per transaction, and so on. Confidence lost. See how angry everyone is here. Hypocritical. Please don't buy or talk about Bitcoin ever again. Benjamin Cohen, so why did you accept it in the first place before it reached a somewhat arbitrary and hard to prove milestone? Even Eric here, so I really like, aren't Teslas primarily powered by code when you endlessly promote a meme Doge? What does that even mean? I strongly believe in crypto. I sold Tesla and the hardest punch, unfollowed. Confidence lost, Larsson line blue with Parabola broken. So you guys sidestepped most of this from about 49k down to 17 to 21k. Then the fifth Parabola started. And now, that kitchen moment which I had in Parabola 4, level 4, has happened again. The thing that changes everything. And this time, the stamp of approval is on a higher level. Parabola 5, level 5. This time, instead of a small random bank in the corner of the world being sour, we have the head of the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock, Larry Fink, who was also skeptical about Bitcoin in 2017-2018, same as Nordea, but able to change his mind. Now, today, talking enthusiastically about Bitcoin and blockchain technology every single day. I tried to read up on the history, and I think he changed his mind in 2020, 2021. And of course, he was a key force for the Bitcoin ETF approval, which started trading on January 10th this year. Now his company BlackRock has a real role in the ecosystem. He starts making real money on Bitcoin. And I don't say that cynically. On the contrary, you, me, Larry Fink, and everyone else, no one gets Bitcoin until you've bought some exposure. Only then you will start reading about it and try to actually understand it. All the haters are on the sidelines. The haters are not inside. They are not among those who have taken the time to actually understand it. Now in the present, we have a new president of the United States talking on Bitcoin conferences about all-American Bitcoin, doing an ICO, looking to buy a crypto exchange. All these events solidify the present. Bitcoin is real. Now in Parabola 5, we have those three things that were the vision during Parabola 4. We have the ETF, which is working as expected. Investment is coming in. We have the payments. Clear regulation finally. In Parabola 5 we do pay with crypto. Stripe has launched it in the US. PayPal actually has it. This time around when buying my course, crypto payment is through a simple payment provider. I don't need to do anything. And we have the corporate treasuries buying. Now it's not only Tesla which then starts hesitating. There's announcements every single day now. 5 new companies every day. The vision from Parabola 4 actually played out now in Parabola number 5. But then, what is the vision now? That was lacking for me. What is the vision for level 6? The parabola that should come over here. And now that has come, in my view. Rumors that BlackRock supports US strategic Bitcoin reserve. Vanek, we support the Bitcoin strategic reserve more than BlackRock. They are hesitant. So rumors of them supporting, not supporting, at least it's seriously discussed. Shout out to this interview guy and to Ivan for finding this clip. And mostly, of course, to our hero, Michael Saylor.
So the smartest thing for the US to do is to buy up as much of that as they can. So you buy 1 million coin, that's 5% of the network. Buy 4 million coin, you got 20% of the network. Why not buy 20, 25, 30% of the network? If you buy the network, you can buy it for money which is effectively free. In fact, you could just sell the gold, swap it to Bitcoin, and then as Bitcoin becomes a 200, 300, 400 trillion dollar asset, right? You're sitting on anywhere from 40 to 80 trillion dollar gain. The logic of this is pretty clear. First of all the foreign capital in the world is going to be drawn into the Bitcoin network. So if the United States owns it, then that's like the same as the money coming to the US. You're just drawing capital from Russia, from China, from Africa, from South America. It's going to come to the US on the Bitcoin network if the US owns it. The second logic is all the capital from the 20th century is stampeding into the 21st century. So all the money that was invested in crappy bonds and decaying real estate and warehouses falling down and companies that are going out of business, all that money is going to go into the Bitcoin network. So you own the 21st century.
So this is the vision. It is a vision. It doesn't have to play out now. In fact, I doubt it will. At least not to that extent. Even El Salvador and Bhutan only has Bitcoin for 1 billion each. Here we're talking about trillions. Perhaps the billion step has to come first. Perhaps the execution of this will be Parabola 6. But the vision has to exist now for Parabola 5 to fully play out. If there is no vision, Parabola 5 will stall for sure. And now it does exist. We have the vision for Parabola 6. The vision is nation states replacing gold and other treasury assets with digital gold in era digitalis. And for that reason, I remain positive to Bitcoin here, which during the time I recorded this has now shot up to 97,700, which means that we have now almost reached what I phrased as 100k front run a little bit, which I said is the logical resistance. But if we can now establish presence holding above 100k, smashing through here, perhaps fake a little, can't be too easy, but if we establish presence holding above 100k, this can shoot up further really fast. Today is the last day. I'll run the test of my new checkout system for buying my course and Larsson Pro with crypto at a slightly lower price. I'm ending the trial because it has worked great. Big shout out to Xmoney, the payment provider. Digital currencies, the best payment system by a mile. Everyone has been able to get through. No problem. The only thing to keep in mind is that you need to be careful with the fees, so you don't slightly underpay, because then you'll have to make another transfer of the difference, which means you need to pay gas again. I would much rather have just accepted the amount and that they billed me as the merchant for the difference. Much nicer user experience. And that has been my feedback to the team there. Tomorrow you will still be able to pay with crypto, but it's the regular price. Regarding my exploration of the 300k scenario yesterday, please remember to keep a reactive mindset. My base guess is that this parabola will top out just when everyone least expect it. Like when Parabola 4 topped out when Plan B had every single person convinced that we will go to 100k. Well, almost every single person. This time as well. It's not going to play out as everyone expects by definition. That's the whole point with markets. So let's stay nimble, let's stay attentive, let's keep reacting as things develop. But for now, I want to say a huge congratulations to you. Whether you're here from my first video in 2017 on my first channel, or joined a year ago, a month ago, a week ago, or just this Monday, you have smashed it if you followed along and took action. Well done. Thank you, Ty. CTO Larsson out.